Still lifes are a fantastic way of practicing photography. In fact, even before photography was around, artists have used still lifes to understand light and composition. So today, we're going to talk about still lifes. So in photography, I think still lifes are really great when you are just starting out, because if you work with objects, like you're not in a rush, like they're not going to hurry you. So a still life, in our understanding, is actually an arrangement of still inanimate objects, mostly or very often everyday objects, or it could be something natural like flowers or fruits, and they're arranged in a nice way. So it's a way to practice the composition. All right, so today I'm here with Chi, who is a stylist. Together we will explore some still lifes. Maybe before we get started, it's time to introduce you a little bit. So you're a stylist. What does that mean? What kind of styling are you doing?
So I do celebrity or fashion styling, editorial, which is fashion photos for a magazine. I've also done many product styling before.
Oh, that's great. So you for sure have a lot of experience and
Yes.
can enlighten me a little bit of what to look out for when
Yes.
doing actually some kind of still life shoot.
Think of a still life photo as a painting. So you think of those like Dutch old master, and so you usually have some sort of vase and glass object to have some sparkly things inside the frames, fruits, flowers, and in a variable of colors and texture.
But like also with all the things, like
Yes.
how do you later choose what you want to put into the picture?
I think a lot of it is about colors. Try to pick out different color and texture and form it into a composition where there's high and low, and hard and soft.
What I thought is I want to work with a basic lighting, so we have like some light from the window only. I think when you start doing photography or doing some still life, it's very nice to have a basic light first to begin with. The wall behind us, there will be a nice background if we blur it out later.
Yes,
So
beautiful texture.
yeah.
We'll try to have some lotus flowers
Oh, nice.
because that's the ultimate Vietnamese symbol.
Yes.
So we start by the very simple, like one flower composition, like just one thing, one vase, one flowers. You measure the flowers by usually the highest you go is about double the height of the vase. So you would cut off some of it. For me, I would prefer to open it up in a more like natural way. I mean, if some falls off, you can leave it on the side.
Oh, you can use it as a prop, right? Like you
Yes.
can include it in your composition. I think that's a good point also. Like the combination of what you said of the asymmetrical shape and then the flower points into the other direction. I like that.
Yes.
So I have my long lens on and I think I just try shooting that and then I just show you what I have. I think it's quite nice, but
That's quite nice, but I think you can pull it out a bit so
Yes,
we
that's
have more space to crop and play with it.
and I'm going up a little bit to kind of separate the flower, not against the bricks, but against the other part of the wall, which is more plain. This one right now.
So now all the different colors of the wall is creating this horizontal
Exactly.
sections of the
So we have
image.
kind of like a rule of thirds, and like what I did before is like here it's like against this brick wall, and I think that doesn't separate so nice. So I just changed my perspective a little bit. So now it separates here. All right. So how do you plan your composition actually? Like where do you get your ideas for that? It's not just random, I guess, right?
Yes. So other than the random composition, sometimes you try to think of the intention, the story behind like each images. What story are you trying to tell to the audience? Sometimes you want to tell the story about this party that is half eaten, or sometimes you want to tell, if, for example, with the vase and flowers, sometimes you want to tell the story of before everything was arranged into this beautiful bouquet. So it could be just the vase only and some flowers on the side.
That's nice. What did you set up here? Like this looks much more complicated
So
than
this
what
is
we
a-
just did before, right?
So we're trying to recreate a scene of chess play. Maybe you can think of this as a mid-autumn scene. Sometimes it's nice to just bring in like a totally different color, but it still go with the wabi-sabi vibe of this place. So let's try to shoot with this.
Let's try that. Go a little bit more top down. Yeah, I just took this one. I think it's nice, but I think there's something more in this setup, so we'll try something else.
I think it's very important to observe your composition from many different angles.
Yes.
Okay.
See, like now the interesting angle in this composition for me is like against the light from outside, so...
This angle?
Yeah, I think that works. I really like that if like have like an angle a little bit more, but going tighter in, right?
Yes.
And I think that creates like a tight and nice scene. Okay, that was quite interesting. I learned a few new things today.
Yes, and I think it's a very collaborative process. You can be as intentional or as random as you want it to be.
The important things are like the texture, right, of things, the colors,
Yes.
and the shape. For me, I believe that still lifes are great for new photographers to practice their photo skill.
Yes, that's true. In the beginning, I really love product photography because there's no model, so you can adjust until eternity.
Yeah, I think what's great if you're new to photography, it's really nice because it helps you to experiment with things such as light, composition, your camera settings, so you can get to know all of these things. And
The important thing is to experiment and have fun, whether you want to do styling or photography, because only with a lot of experimentation will you find your style.
thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you so much for having me.